All right, here we are inside of our Kajabi community. This is the Unstuck Me Club. This is where we have all of our members come and get help for their Kajabi building. Now, I'm going to walk you through the front end first, and then we're going to jump into the settings so you can see what it looks like in the back end for any Kajabi community. So first you'll see on the left-hand side, we have all of the navigation. This is standard for any Kajabi community. We have 2 access groups, so you can choose, you can have 1, 2, or more. Basically, if I collapse them here, you'll see what I'm talking about. We have one here for our community, which is our free Unstuck Me Club, where you can come and join and ask us questions. Then we also have our momentum builders. That is our paid community where you get some additional support from Malva and I, including group calls. So within these 2 access groups, we have channels. These channels are the places where you can have your conversation on a specific topic. So we have our main chat. You'll see we have a pin post here, so it stays at the top. So when new members come in, they always see this post, very similar to Facebook. You'll also notice that we have 2 private channels here. We have one for our past bootcamp that we just finished up, and we have one for our new bootcamp that is coming up right away. We do teach people how to build their Kajabi communities within this bootcamp. And so when we have somebody join the bootcamp, they get to go into this special channel that only bootcamp members can see. And this allows us to keep the conversation specific to that bootcamp. And now this channel, it actually closes at the end of the bootcamp because we want to make sure that people take action. So we don't leave it open forever and ever, and then people just kind of sit and linger in there. So it's a very specific purpose for the private channel. So it's really cool that Kajabi allows us to do that. So we can put specific people in there and we can remove them when things are finished. You'll also notice that we have Meetups, which is really nice. Meetups is a place where you can schedule group calls. You can use Zoom if you want, but Kajabi allows you to actually do live video. So if I click in here to our Momentum Builders Meetups, you'll see that there's past recordings from our calls. And so when you use the live video within Kajabi, you get the call straight here into the community. You don't have to go and take the time to download it from Zoom and then upload it and then send everybody an email that the recording's ready. Kajabi does it all for you. As soon as you finish your call, it processes and it's there, and it will send out an email to anybody who is in that access group that the recording's available. So super, super handy. You'll also see that there's a calendar attached to the meetup, so you can see when all the calls are coming, which is really nice visual. You also have the ability to add links to the sidebar here. So if you wanted to have a special page, this is like our welcome page where you can see all the steps, all the things that people need to do when they're new. They can just hop on here and get all the instructions right there. You can also link to outside pages. In this case, I'm linking out to a playlist of tutorials. Okay, so you can link away from Kajabi if you want, but you can also link to other pages within Kajabi. We have some guest expert trainings that we provide to our members here. And so it stays inside of the community. You don't have to go outside and get lost and never come back to the community. You can watch everything right in here. You can do the same with your online courses. You can actually add a link to your course right here and your course will open up in the community. Love that feature. You can also schedule your posts here in the community. As you can see, we have a strategy post that's scheduled to come up in the future here. This allows us to get content out without having to, post it the moment that we want it sent out. We can pre-schedule things, which is always a great thing to do. Let's jump over into the settings area. So up here, we go to community settings, and there's lots of different things that we can customize. So I'm just going to go through these really, really quickly. If you want to know more about these settings and you want to actually ask questions on whether or not you should do X or you should do Y, and you want to know what's best for your situation, come to the bootcamp. That is where you can ask me live in a call while you build your bootcamp at the exact same time. So this video here is just going to be a really, really quick overview. I go much more in depth when we do the live bootcamp. So on this page here, you get to set your basic information, social links, community guidelines, all that stuff goes in here. Your email notifications, you have lots of ability to customize those emails for your members, and your members can override this. If they don't want it on, they can turn it off, but this allows you to customize everything all for your members. You can turn things off if you're like, I don't want them to have that email sent to them. You can turn everything off or do it custom. Email customization, you can brand it so your emails that come from the community look like they come from you and your brand. Gamification is a really fun feature inside of the community. You can customize all of the different points and different things for your game, for your gamification inside here. Customization tab, there's lots of places that has specific names and you can change those names if you don't like them. You know, you don't have to call it a main feed. You can call it whatever. Same thing, announcements, challenges, channels, all those. You can give them different names if you want. You can disable things like gamification and meetups and live room. If you don't want those on, you can turn them off. So you have all of that customization ability. Same thing with branding. You can make the colors look a little bit more like your brand. So it's not like generic Kajabi community, different reactions, and some other additional type settings here that are really handy to have. If you want to do challenges in your community, you can do that here in Kajabi. You can set that up here, or you can turn it off if you don't want to do that. This is the meetups area. Pretty straightforward to create a meetup. You just add meetup, put in your image, put all your details in here, decide which group's going to get the meetup, all that, and you can save it, and it sends an email out and says, hey, I scheduled a new meetup. Come join me. Channels, this is where you set up all your channels. You can do lots of things with the channels. We talk more in depth about channels in our bootcamp, so if you want to learn more about that, come join me for that. And announcements, this is where you can push out an announcement to your people via email and also pin it at the top of the community so they can see it as a nice big bold banner and then they don't miss any news from you. And you can do it for everybody in the community, or you can just do it for a specific access group. So it's super, super handy. So there's a lot more things that you could do here in the community, but that's the basic overview. If you are ready to build your Kajabi community and you don't want to try to figure this all out by yourself, come and do it with me. In our Kajabi Build Bootcamp, we're going to meet for 2 90-minute sessions. And in that first session, we're going to actually build your community live. So you're going to follow along with me step by step while you do it at the same time on your computer. That way, by the time we're done that first session, your community is built. It's ready. You technically can launch it after the first 90-minute session. Don't recommend that you do, but we will jump on to another 90-minute session and we'll iron out a few more little details for your members to have a really good experience when they do come into your community. So if you feel like you're ready and you want to do it along with me, sign up for the bootcamp. The link is below in the description. And also, we will give feedback on your community before you launch it. That is one of the best parts about this bootcamp, is that you get my eyes, Malva's eyes on your community, expert feedback. That's awesome. So if you're ready, come join us. If you're not quite ready to build your Kajabi community just yet, that's totally okay. Watch this next video here on your screen. It's going to give you a little bit more information about how to create more engagement and get more prepared for building your community here in Kajabi. Go check that out.